The process for how a housing bill becomes a housing law is detailed, full of compromise and deadlines, from tax credits for buyers to 100% mortgage programs. If you've ever wondered how it all works, this one is for you. I'm Dan Green with homebuyer.com, mine MLS 227607, our lender MLS 423065. We're part of Novus Home Mortgage, a division of Exonia Bank. You can read more about homebuyer.com in the video's description, including our lending coverage and some very important disclaimers. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button because this channel is full of excellent mortgage video. I'm a mortgage guy. Talk to a separate licensed expert for your legal, tax, and financial advice. Now, this video is about how housing bills become housing laws, because every housing law starts with an idea. Ideas, they can come from anywhere, from the public, from advocacy groups, from think tanks. And when lawmakers receive these ideas and they get behind them, they give the ideas to their legislative staff, which may include policy advisors, researchers, legal experts. They give those ideas to their staff, who then translates them into formal legal language. Often, that same staff, they're going to engage with an outside organization to ensure that the bill that's being written achieves its goals. For example, when the First-Time Homebuyer Tax Credit Act was written, it was developed with input from housing advocacy groups. Now, once the legislative staff has completed the draft of the bill is then ready for its next step, which is introduction in Congress. This is when the bill is given an official name and number. In the House, bill numbers start with HR. In the Senate, they start with S. The numbering system resets at the beginning of each session of Congress, and lower numbers in the system are often reserved for higher priority bills. Now, after a bill is named and numbered, it's then referred to a relevant committee to be reviewed. Bills about housing often go to specialized committees like the House Financial Services Committee or the Senate Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs Committee. Subcommittees may also review the bill in detail and focus on specific impacts like affordable housing or underserved communities. Now, most of the work that happens on a bill, it happens in committee, and the committee process has three main parts to it. There's the hearings, the markups, and the votes. During the hearings, lawmakers bring in experts to testify about the bill. For example, during discussions on the Helper Act, firefighter unions, teacher organizations, they shared stories to the public about challenges that public servants face. Then, in the markup stage, lawmakers debate and they amend the bill and they refine it for broader appeal. And then lastly, the committee votes on whether to advance the bill or not. The committee stage can take weeks or even months, depending on the bill's complexities and the priorities of congressional leadership. If the committee approves the bill, it then moves to the full House or Senate for a vote. This is called floor action. Lawmakers debate the bill again, focusing on broader issues like its cost to taxpayers and the overall impact of the bill. From here, some bills will advance, others will stall, and then this has to happen in both chambers of Congress. A bill needs to pass both chambers. And when a bill does, it's often in slightly different versions, which leads to the next step in how a housing bill becomes law, and that's reconciliation. Reconciliation is when the House and Senate, they form a committee to resolve the differences between their two approved versions of a bill. The goal is to get from two bills now and get them into one. Now, reconciliation usually involves members from both chambers of Commerce, the ones who worked on the bill, and then a final version is negotiated that both chambers can approve. The reconciliation process can take weeks or longer if differences in the bills are big, and then once a final version is approved, the bill heads to the desk of the president. And the president has three options: can sign the bill into law, or veto it, or do nothing. Now, if Congress is in session, the president decides to do nothing, the bill will become law after 10 days have passed. But if it's vetoed, Congress can override that veto with a 2/3 majority in both chambers. Now, when bills don't pass before the end of a congressional session, the bill expires. However, they're not completely dead. They can be reintroduced. For example, the First-Time Homebuyer Act has been reintroduced multiple times as lawmakers refine its provisions to address previous concerns and try to build broader support. Same for the Helper Act, which proposes 100% mortgages with no annual mortgage insurance to eligible homebuyers who are educators, military, or first responders. Reintroducing a bill lets sponsors refine the bill, address objections, and try again with stronger support. And the process begins again. From idea to implementation, a housing bill's journey can be long, can be complex, but when it succeeds, laws that help U.S. homebuyers can make a meaningful difference in real people's lives. I'm Dan with homebuyer.com. Remember, pre-approved buyers do better. Happy home buying.